about Article 12, investors need returns which cannot be attained through a short-time lease. Do you think Article 12 needs to be revised, repealed, amended? How does the CNMI compare to Guam policy on this subject? So, the perennial question of Article 12.
Well, of course, it's that's a tough one, and I can only speak to my personal view. There's obviously so many different opinions on that subject, and here's how I view it. You know, our land is sacred, you know, and we're unique here in that we still have control over it. Say what you want about the economy. I'm pretty sure Guam, places like Hawaii, they look at us and they wish they could be in our position, where our lands are still protected and we still have a say. But also, I think we should open the conversation and see if there are things that can be amended. Are there ways that we can shape it to better attract business, opportunities? That's a conversation that we have to have with our whole community. It doesn't just take one person; it's a collaborative effort to answer that. But to open the conversation again, I have no problem with that. I think we should. I think we should take a look at all of our policy. And again, we're in this pivotal time where things are changing. The world is changing. Technology is changing. Views are changing. So we need to move with the times too, and also take a look at everything that's on the table. See what's working, see what's not. How can we adjust? You know, I think that should be started from all government agencies throughout our whole Commonwealth. And again, the leadership starts from the top, you know, so we need to come together and, like Rep. Hines said, have a unified voice in this. And my title is a representative. I represent our people. It's not just about me. It's not just about my views. And we need to come together and come together as a community and have these open and honest conversations more often. Thank you.
So Article 12 is a loaded question. Depending on which standpoint or where you stand in this issue. If we talk about economically, Article 12 is a challenge. But if we talk about protecting our people, Article 12 is in place for that reason, right? Protecting our future. But I just wanted to add on top of what Representative Cambodia said that it's something that we need to look at, because if we look at the community. The community is changing. The new generation is changing. We got a lot of mixed culture, mixed ethnicity, and the question that you have is that if you represent the people and it's starting to be mixed, do we continue to fight one direction, knowing that the change is happening, or do we get on that change and start trying to effectuate change? Because honestly, if we don't change it now, or if we don't look into it now, eventually it's going to change in and of itself, whether we like it or not. That's just the way it's working. If you look at the CNMI, it's a big melting pot. So whether we make the change now or 20 years from now, eventually it's going to have to change. So what I do want to say is that I think at the end of the day, Article 12 is a question for our people, not for the representatives, because I can't make that decision myself, and trust me, I do not want to make that decision myself. So if it's something that's important that needs to be addressed, maybe we should put it out to the people. I know one of our senators in previous legislature kind of opened up that can of worm, and it was a big he got ridiculed for it. But all the senator was trying to do was open up that question so that people can think about Article 12 and think about some of the delays or the hampering that is creating economically. That's why a lot of our investment will fly over Guam, because their return on investment makes more sense there in terms of the time they when they purchase a land or whatever, the time they have to return their investment on that. They can. But the problem here is you got up to 55 years, and given the state of our economy where it's an up and down, it's a challenge. So it's just a discussion that has to be made. Like the delegate said, it's tough, but I think that it's something that we need to sit down as a community and start talking about on the dining table and start start realizing that eventually we need to make this change, or we need to open it up, at least make some amendments, extend it, or, you know. But again, that question should be answered by our people, and, you know.
Delegate, did you want to add your comments, your view on Article 12?
So I am of the personal opinion that indigenous lands must remain in indigenous hands. And, you know, if we just take a step back and look at historical, economic analysis with regards to trends, right? We've had Article 12 in place all these years, and we've seen the economy peak. And we've seen the economy peak when the conditions are ripe. So we saw over $300 million in revenue, government revenue, back when the garment industry was in place, and we also have the tourism industry. We've seen the economy at its peak when we had IPI and the tourism industry. And so I don't think that Article 12 is necessarily what is holding us back. It's really about getting our shit together, right? And walking towards the same direction, saying the same things, agreeing on a vision, and actually coming together and executing a strategy and just doing it, right? But it seems that every time our economy is down in the dumps, Article 12 comes back up, you know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, because how would have that worked out when IPI was here, right? And we didn't have Article 12. We're talking about Chinese coming over, right, and being geopolitical threats. Well, if we didn't have Article 12, almost half the property on this island would have been owned by Chinese, right? So that's what I personally think about that. Telling you how I really feel, people.